Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. My goodness, what a situation we have on our hands. I had to take a couple of days off. I wasn't feeling very well, but also I was quite put off by the whole Harry and Meghan situation. They're using the dead dog for publicity for her show, her cooking show, her lifestyle program. I found that deeply offensive. That was my personal opinion, of course. And then they released the statement, well, I assume Meghan released a statement on Archewell about the fires in LA and making it all about her. And then, of course, the inevitable happened, and they actually showed up, just like she showed up in Uvalde those few years ago, that awful event involving those children, and she made it all about her, brought her camera crew along. Same thing, except this time Harry came along for the ride as well. And so there they were, holding hands with their masks down so you could see exactly who they were, being given a tour of the very badly affected area. Then they went along to World Central Kitchen, made it all about them. Meghan was shown helping behind the scenes right next to Gavin Newsom's wife. Strategically placed herself there, and hugging people. Princess Markle hanging out with commoners, as it was described. They brought their own camera crew along. They drove all the way down there. We assume they drove down there. It's not their area that has been so badly affected. It's got nothing to do with them. They haven't donated any money, as far as we can tell. Other celebrities are giving millions in aid, but they're encouraging everyone else to hand over whatever. Meghan, of course, is handing out hugs to the commoners, and they were there allegedly for 17 minutes and then pushed off, which is just mind-blowing. I know many people are absolutely sickened by their behavior. We're going to do a little dig around. I have the Disney Villains tarot deck on the tarot table today, just to express my personal sentiments about this performative grief that she has been displaying. She looked quite skittish, quite nervous, didn't quite know what to do with herself. He looked actually quite bored. That was my reading of his body language. I'm not a body language expert. This is all, of course, my opinion. I'm going to have a look at why they're there. Both of them. How thirsty are they for this kind of thing? He obviously felt that this was an opportunity to look royal and show off his humanitarian caring side about his adopted country, having lost all interest in his country of birth. It would have looked pretty bad if he didn't do something, but he didn't have to show up, really, did he? And we'll ask how she got him there, because they haven't been seen together since mid-September in public together, provably, verifiably so. So how did that happen? His mood being around her Netflix deal, of course. We all suspect that she's in a flat spin about that. The timing is just atrocious to be streaming a series that's all about luxury, indulging in the perfect kitchen, the perfect garden, the perfect lifestyle, when a city is in flames. And so how's that going to go? As I was getting ready to do this reading, I saw a rumor going past me on screen about her asking, this comes from TMZ, and they apparently released their footage to TMZ so TMZ could know the inside story about this, apparently asking Netflix to delay streaming her show. So we're going to ask about the consequences for her show, because it looked performative. Look at me, I care so much, so please watch my Netflix show and buy my merch when I finally get around to having some. And then we're going to ask, is this going to raise their profiles, or is it just going to add to the hate? Celebrities are in big trouble right now with your average person. People are just done with celebrities as far as I can tell. I think this might be a real swing away from celebrity culture, this fire, for literal reasons as well as figurative reasons. So hanging around with Gavin Newsom, probably the second most loathed person in LA right now, second only to the mayor. How's that going to go for them? Is it going to make them more loathed, or is it going to help them and raise their profiles and just claw back, and I use the term claw advisedly, some of their popularity that they shed by being so revolting towards their own families in the early days of their escape from the royal family. It's all, of course, tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all me and my personal opinion and my speculations, just reading energy here today. And of course, there is a disclaimer in the box below, and please read it and please form your own opinions about these two and their little stunt that they have just pulled. You can tell what my opinion is very clearly. But let's see what the tarot, the Disney villains, has to tell us about them. And to any of you who's watching this who might be affected in whatever way, I'm sending you so much love right now. There's a Knight of Coins. That's Harry. That's Harry that showed up. And I'm going to put this card next to it because it's the fire. It's the Ace of Wands. Very fiery energy that has shown up. Can we see it? Let's just scooch along a little bit. Hang on to your seats, your straps, whatever. So there is Knight of Coins. That's Harry. That's Harry back on his horse, thinking, well, I understand tragedy like this because that's what I do as a royal. I show up for things like this. My house has never burnt down. I think the reason why I'm particularly aggrieved and had to take a break for a couple of days is that, as many of you watching will know, in my very small community, we've had a whole section of our village wiped out, and our surrounding areas, not just our village, wiped out by a terrible flood. And then two of my closest, dearest people in my life lost their homes to fires in the last 18 months or so. So yeah, it's quite close to home, this. And someone showing up and giving you a hug, not really what you want at that moment, I just have to say. It doesn't really help in the weeks and months and years that follow. A celebrity, not someone, of course, a friend showing up to give you a hug, absolutely. A celebrity showing up to give you a hug? Absolutely not. But there he is, the Knight of Coins. That's Harry's energy showing up because, oh, I know how to do this. And there's the Ace of Wands. That's just the fire energy that's there for me as a tarot reader. So we'll put it on the table. We hope that as I'm doing this reading, they're getting on top of it. What do we have? We've got the Five of Cups, and it's in reverse. The Five of Cups is, of course, a card of great loss and grief and sorrow and regret and all of that stuff. It's in reverse. And I'm tempted with the little devil on my shoulder, and I'm going to give the devil airtime today. It's all, of course, my opinion. My opinion about that card showing up as the central energy of this reading is that it's exploiting grief and sorrow and this huge amount of loss that is going on, still ongoing in LA as I'm doing this reading on a Saturday afternoon. So let's look at them just generally and ask why they both needed to show up. Harry first. We've already got the Knight of Coins, his energy. Seven of Cups, deluded, still believing that he's important, he's a royal, he somehow can lord it over the locals, the commoners, as they were described. Pitchforks out, people. Get your pitchforks out. Seven of Cups, that's the card of delusion, fantasy. I'm sure he was hanging out in New York. That's my personal opinion. And so excited. Now there's a disaster. Now I can do some four-roiling, get on a plane. That's my personal suspicion of this card, the Seven of Cups. And of course, I'm expressing my very jaded and very negative opinion in this reading. Herself, why? Just generally, we'll get to the nitty-gritty of it. And she also has a 7. It's the Seven of Wands, and it's the card of defense, not attack. She is on the back foot here. She's feeling very vulnerable, very exposed. Of course, Netflix is allowing the trailer for her stupid show to be played on YouTube and I think Instagram and wherever else without the comments being shut down. It's in the hundreds of thousands now of dislikes versus a few paltry likes. it's pretty bad, and she can send her minions out, her flying monkeys out, to say it's all racist and it's all the derangers and the loathers and whatever else. But the numbers tell their own story of how loathed she is and how obnoxious people find her trailer and the concept of the show that she is doing, the fakery that she is presenting as her own endeavor. 7 of Wands on the back foot, having to defend herself, having to come out. She did look nervous. She looked like she didn't know what to do with herself. Just quite often we see her like that, in that kind of energy. Sniff, sniff. But yeah, definitely he's the one who saw this as an opportunity. She's the one who might even have not had to be coaxed out, but encouraged out and reassured before she would be seen in public. Interesting dynamic going on here. Thirstiness. How thirsty are they? How thirsty is he? How thirsty is she for attention? Taking their own camera crew. Ace of Cups, absolutely. This fills the empty void in his soul. Ace of Cups. This makes him think that he's Mummy Diana. This is armchair psychology here, so it's all my opinion or speculation. Mummy Diana, Ace of Cups. This is me. I bring blessings and bounty to you, oh, you little people down there. This is my divine role because I'm Prince Harry. And so I show up and you're all going to love me because I'm Mummy Diana's son. And I have the common touch. And, you know, you need me now and you love me. That's what's going on there. It's very clear to me. Energetically, it's making my blood boil. How about her? How thirsty is she? And I got the Knight of Swords in reverse. For once, she's not showing up with the thirsty energy. This is him. I don't think he had to be persuaded too much to show up, get on that private jet and fly to LA or wherever he flew to. Knight of Swords, and it's in reverse. This is the clapback. This is all the hatred on YouTube and wherever else. So much hatred, so much criticism of her, and somehow she's got to withstand it. Somehow she's got to actually counter it. Then the Knight of Swords is swift action, strategic action, wise, but quite sarcastic, quite cutting, and she's dealing with it and she's not enjoying it. She did not enjoy being out there. He did. He was lapping it up. Ace of Cups, absolutely lapping it up. At last, a disaster I can make use of. In America, I don't have to go to Africa or wherever to have a disaster. I can have it right on my doorstep and make myself feel better about my life choices. That's my personal opinion. So let's look at him now directly. And I had a question. How did she get him there? What dark arts did she have to use to persuade him that he needed to be there? But let's see. I don't think she had to do anything to persuade him. We got the 8 of Wands, and it's in reverse. The 8 of Wands is a communication card, and in reverse, no speaks. And I'm honestly getting from that card that they weren't even really in communication about this, that he wanted this more than she wanted it. The other aspect of the 8 of Wands that I need to talk about is that it's the card of unblocking. Something that's been blocked, and then suddenly you can clear a situation and move forward, accelerate out of a blockage. And so that for him, opportunity to get moving again, to do something dynamic. It's consistent energy in this reading that he sees it as an opportunity to take advantage of. Here you can get your PR going again. You don't have to try knocking on the door in the UK, which you've been doing for the last 6 months or so, and nobody's answering that door and you're being told the door is very firmly closed. Here you've got another opportunity in the United States to sort of very vulgar expression in my mind, but I'm getting a dog lifting its leg and marking its territory. So I'm going to say that because that's the visual that I'm getting. And of course, this is my personal opinion and quite negative opinion right now, given their performance in wherever it was. Okay. That is him and how he came to be there. How does he feel being with her? They did hold hands while the cameras were rolling. For the rest of the time, he did seem quite to ignore her, and she seemed to be the one anxious to be sidling up to him. What's the vibe? I'm going to do a divorced catch-up reading in the next one. Queen of Wands in reverse, can't stand her. Doesn't want to be around her, but tolerating her because you buy one get one free at this point. You don't buy one get one free, you have to buy two. It's one of those deals. You only want one, but you've got to get two. So there it is, Queen of Wands. That's her, fire sign woman. That's Megan. She's in reverse, can't stand her. Quite clear, my opinion. Of course, tarot reading, fun and entertainment, and I hope you are entertained today. Being very sarcastic. So let's move on to the Netflix thing. And is she in a flat panic about her Netflix show? The timing couldn't be worse. It's about as bad as escaping to California to launch your brilliant new film career, and then the lockdown happening almost immediately, and that was the end of that for a while. So panic or not a panic? What's going on in the world? Oh yeah, absolute panic. This is the successful outcome, the world upright, the successful completion of something, her big moment. This is what it's all about. The deal is almost over. The Netflix deal is over later this year in about October, apparently. It's in reverse. This could be an absolute disaster, an epic disaster. Can't believe she's not going to get the good outcome that she was banking on, quite literally banking on. So what's going to be the consequence? As I say, I have heard this rumor that she's asking them to delay streaming those 8 episodes until the fire is forgotten. When is that going to be, Megan? The fire might not even be out by then. We hope it is. I'm not wishing that it lasts that long. But this is going to linger, and it's going to linger for a long time. And I know that from personal experience as well. So what's going to happen to this show? Limbo. The Hanged Man. Limbo. Absolutely. She might get her way, and they might delay streaming it. Wow. Talk about karma. And I am going to be talking about karma on my other channel, possibly later today. Depends on how much energy I've got running by the end of these royal readings. But an interesting topic to discuss, I think, with the whole of the LA world and what goes on and has gone on for decades in LA. But this is so pointedly at her. Hanged man, limbo, delay, waiting, having to hang around, kick your heels, powerless, feeling aggrieved, feeling victimized, feeling it's all unfair, and now why did it happen to me? And there could be very good reasons why it happened to you, Megan. And maybe you need to sit and have a big long think about why these things keep happening to me. I mean, to you. Freudian slip there. Energy of these two cards, very similar. The World in reverse and the Hanged Man. That is the Netflix show. Not good. Not good at all. And if it does come out, secondary energy in the Hanged Man, it's not going to be well received. Either people are just not going to watch it, give it a blind bit of notice, or they're really going to say, we're sick of this narrative and we want to see the world differently. We don't want to see luxury. We don't want to see you trotting about in your high heel, clipping flowers from someone else's garden and sprinkling those blossoms on donuts. We really are done with that. So how's this going to do? Is it going to stir more hatred against the Parkles, or are they going to have they helped themselves by doing this little performance with their camera crew and released exclusively to TMZ? Helped or raised the hatred another notch? Harry, we got the Five of Wands. And it's in reverse. It's the conflict card. It's not helping him. It's a card of competition, and when it's in reverse, it's unhealthy competition. It's just being obscene about trying to one-upmanship, trying to dominate other people. It's trying to out-royal the royals. People are going to see straight through it with Harry and just think, you loser. We don't have royals in the United States. You are nothing to us. and you're using us to score points against your own family. Instead of making peace with your family, you're lecturing all of us about how you need to take in people and be like family. Come on, Megan, the Magician. She might get some mileage out of it, because I think this is her domain. Harry is the one who thought, oh, they love me and I can trot along and they'll adore me and tug their forelocks and it'll all be wonderful, and Mummy Diana. She's the one who's going to spin this. With the Magician, I never trust the Magician, whether it's upright or in reverse. So she is the one who is going to use this. See, look, she might use it for a new series. Go to Netflix and say, see, I show up at occasions like this, and make, do all the right things, and you can film me and we can do another show about this. She's going to twist it, she's going to spin it, she's going to take advantage of it. I don't think people are going to be fooled by it much because of that over there. But let's just see, are people going to buy the spin? Is Netflix going to buy the spin? We'll ask. This has turned into a 5-hour reading. No, not quite, but it's over 20 minutes. Will people be fooled by her spin, by this stunt, or will they just think, go away, woman, take yourself away? What's going to happen with this spin? It's definitely, she's must have so many external drives with all the footage that she's recorded since she met Harry 10-12 years ago. So her house, my opinion, just joking, of course, for fun and entertainment, and every move documented, videos, Charlotte's bedroom, whatever else. What do we have? 2 of Cups, Knight of Wands in reverse, and the 4 of Cups. She's trying to show that they're still together. They are still a couple. People still love her. She's trying to be the dear sweetie thing. Give me another chance with the 4 of Cups. But the Knight of Wands is galloping away. So it's showing up as Harry. She's trying to spin this for marriage purposes. That's what this Magician is about. See, we're still together. We're holding hands. Look at us. And this story here is telling a very different story about what's going on, trying to pretend that they're still together, that they're sort of reconciling and having a fresh start in their marriage. But the Knight of Wands is up and off. That's what the Knight of Wands does. So that is the reading. I'm going to be checking up on the marriage in the next one. Thank you for watching, and as I say, if you are affected by this, even just by watching it, please look after yourselves, and sending lots and lots of love.